When Salvatore sputtered up in his tiny red Fiat for our first meeting, he was over 20 minutes late. The car looked like a tin can and sounded like it was on its last legs. It spat a steady stream of exhaust, and I started to cough. Salvatore responded with 2 short honks of his horn and a big smile. It was the first time I was meeting this guy, and he was 20 minutes late. What was that? I was fresh out of college and had arrived in Naples a few days earlier to start a 3-month internship at the U.S. consulate there. I was standing outside the entrance of the boarding school where I rented a room, wearing a boxy blue jacket with black trousers. My internship wasn't as much a career move as it was a rite of passage. Members of my family did an experience abroad during or after college. Big leather photo albums in my parents' attic in Washington show my father waspy and smiling in Bordeaux in 1961, my mother all swayed out in Bologna in 1966. They'd learned foreign languages and they'd had the time of their lives. Now that it was my turn, where was I going to go? Naples was not a logical destination. When I'd visited Italy on vacations as a kid, we avoided the city or passed through it as quickly as we could to get to Pompeii or Vesuvius. Naples was dirty and dangerous, we heard. My grandfather, whose parents were from Calabria, said that Neapolitans could steal your socks without taking your shoes off. You really should go to Tuscany, family friends had told me. Have you seen Siena? Florence? The serene splendor of Tuscany would have been appropriate for an upper-class girl like me. It felt like what I was supposed to do, and I'd always been very good at doing what I was supposed to do. I spent my childhood overachieving at private schools, and in college, I could have majored in surpassing expectations or making Mommy and Daddy proud. It was time for a change. The American consul of Naples was a fellow alum of my parents' graduate school of international relations. I'd been seated next to him the previous spring at a fundraising dinner in Washington, and he asked me if I'd considered Naples for my experience abroad. He could arrange an unpaid internship in the political office of the consulate if I was interested. Naples? I thought stolen socks and wallets, the mafia, corruption. I also thought pizza. I was intrigued. I bounced the idea off people who asked what I was going to do after graduation. I was thinking of going to Naples, I told them. That was when I got the look. The look was a wide-eyed, beware facial expression, accompanied by warnings of, it's filthy, it's dangerous, and even the good guys and the bad guys all look alike. There's no way to tell the difference. Aha, I thought. Sounds fascinating. I now know that Naples is like New York City. You either love it or you hate it. And if you love it, there's no use proselytizing. Those who hate it will not be converted. There's a chaotic, vibrant energy about Naples that forces you to let go and give in. If you fight it, judge it, or even hide from it, you might as well get out before you get your wallet snatched. Lucky I hadn't gotten my wallet snatched waiting for this Salvatore guy, I thought, as he opened the creaking door of his car and got out to introduce himself. 20 minutes? It had been Salvatore's mother, Raffaella Avallone, who had found me the room at the boarding school where I was staying. After working out the details of the internship, I had asked the consul's help with housing. He immediately passed the issue on to his wife, an Italian signora who hung out not only with diplomats but also Neapolitan society. She knew that the lady who got things done at benefit lunches, charity galas, and bridge tournaments was Raffaella Avallone. Plus, Raffaella had 2 kids this girl's age. And so Raffaella learned that there was a young woman in need of a sistemazione, a setup. Mi sono mossa subito is the expression she would use. I got myself moving. She found me a place to stay and told her son Salvatore that there was an American girl whom he was to call and meet up with. Salva, she said, take her out. The poor girl knows no one here. And please, don't be late. The next day I got a call from Salvatore. The telephone was a challenge, as my Italian was very basic and I could only communicate concepts like, I am hungry and I am American. Although I didn't understand most of what Salvatore said, I thought his laugh was adorable. Plus, I didn't know a soul in Naples. The night before, I'd gone out for dinner with two 17-year-old boys I'd met on a bus. I wanted to be in compagnia. So I was glad that, if I'd understood correctly, this Salvatore was going to pick me up the next evening. Worst case scenario, I figured I could practice my Italian.